Hey, what's up? My name's Nick Rollo. I'm a singer and producer, and this is how to write songs for beginners in 2020. I have 6 tips for you. I think they're really helpful. Make sure you stay till the end to get them all. And yeah, before we get into it, do you want to help me out? Well, if you do, like the video, hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on. It helps me out a ton. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers as quickly as I can, ideally before the year ends, but whether or not that happens is a different story. And also check out my music. As I said, I'm a singer and producer, so I release a lot. It's just Nick Rollo on all platforms. I'd be so stoked if you could check it out. Yeah, let's get into the video. So tip number 1 is to pick a starting point. So obviously there's a bunch of different ways that you can start a song. You can start it with a chord progression. You can start it with a melody. La 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 la. You can start it with a lyric. Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. Cool. But without the rhythmic elements. Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. Cool. You can start it with an instrument part or a cool sound, so a drum beat or perhaps like a sound you made on a guitar. There's tons of ways you can start a song. The important thing here is to pick one and then to just work with it. So for instance, maybe you start with a chord progression. You come up with this chord progression, like C, D, E, and you let the inspiration take you. You start to vibe and you're like, cool, I can make a song out of this, and then you just run with it. You just need to pick a starting point. Often the hardest part of a song is starting. Once you're going, it's a lot easier. It's just when you're looking at this empty screen or empty canvas, just don't know where to go. Just start. That's the main thing. Just start. Also, just mess around with this. I often change things up. 1 week I'll start with a chord progression. 1 week I'll start with a lyric idea. 1 week I'll start with just a melody. I'll change it up because it keeps me inspired. And I think that's the main thing here is you just need to be inspired. The second tip is to help you write better chord progressions. Obviously, chord progressions are kind of challenging at times. You're not sure where to take like the C major chord. Where do you go next with that? And what I would advocate to do occasionally, particularly if you're starting out, is to copy chord progressions from other songs. You can always transpose them up or down. So, if it's a C, you can change it to a C sharp or a B. I find when you copy a chord progression, it just gives you a vibe. If you like that Lady Gaga song, you can copy that chord progression because chord progressions, from my understanding, aren't really copyrighted. Pretty much every single chord progression has been used like a billion times. It's just melodies you don't want to copy or, particular sounds. But chord progressions can be a fantastic way to start a song. So having a good chord progression is a really great way to get started. There's also a bunch of services and plugins if you're using software like a digital audio workstation or a DAW that has just banks of different chord progressions. I think there's the Captain Chords plugin by Mixed in Key if you're using software, which is really handy, so check that out. But yeah, that's a good way to come up with a good chord progression or to get a good chord progression. Stealing. Tip number 3 is to understand structure and arrangement of your genre of choice. So if you want to write pop songs or rap songs or rock songs or country songs or any kind of song that you want to write, often there's these formulas, often there's these general guidelines and boundaries, where I said guide really weird, that songwriters follow. Pop, you might have 4 progressions of the chords in the verse, 4 in the chorus, maybe you have 2 in the second verse or 6 in the second. It doesn't matter what the actual numbers are, but if you go and listen to pop songs and you count, there will often be these methods and formulas that you can also use yourself, which I find is really helpful. Sometimes having boundaries is a really easy way to just push forward, because writing 4 progressions of a verse is way less intimidating than writing 8. If you're trying to write rap, maybe you need those 8 progressions, but pop might not need that. So just go to the charts, go to the genre, whatever you want to whoever you're trying to replicate or reference, listen to what they do. That's a really good starting point because it gives you a roadmap to follow, and sometimes that's all you need. Another thing to keep in mind is how a song starts or how the song flows. Does the song start with the chorus? Does it start with an instrumental? Does it start with really chill piano and a vocal, and it slowly develops into the first chorus with instruments and a vocal performance? Does the pitch of the singer start lower, and when it hits the chorus it jumps up in pitch? You can find out all of these kind of things just by analyzing stuff. I've said analyzing a lot, but I'd recommend doing that. Just go listen to your favorite songs. Figure out what's happening, because, if you like that, it's obviously working. You might as well try it yourself because it might work for you as well. Tip number 4 is to spend time writing lyrics. Seems pretty simple, right? Lyrics are very important, and it's also a bit of a trek. Well, I find it's a bit of a trek to perfect lyrics. You know, you might come up with 70% finished lyrics, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. Spend time to finish those lyrics. Just sit down, write them out, get all of the lines perfect, because lyrics are what people relate to. People listen to those lyrics and are like, wow, I'm in a similar position myself, Jeremy. It's worth doing. I personally find it a grind, but it's definitely a worthy pursuit of your time. Now, you could sit down and just try to finish that one song, you know, perfect it 100%, or you could say for the next 30 days, spend time just writing a song every day. And maybe you don't even write melodies and chord progressions, you just write lyrics. You write verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. And if you did that for 30 days, you know, you'd get pretty quick. A quick tip, well, I guess a side tip here, is that you can write gibberish lyrics, you know, you can write, I don't know, computer screen light man. And that might sound cool, but it's often worth trying to write meaningful lyrics. I mean, that's probably very self-explanatory, but it took me a while, you know. I used to write gibberish lyrics more often than not, or they would just come together, but they wouldn't really mean anything. They would sound good, but there was nothing deeper than that. I would recommend trying to go deeper, trying to write stuff that you can relate to, that you hope other people can too, because at the end of the day, you know, music is just trying to convey emotions, and if you can convey emotions with lyrics, it's really good. So tip number 5, and I'd like to really emphasize this as a pro tip, is to record yourself when you're singing or playing guitar. Just record yourself. That's the tip. Record yourself. What do I mean by this? So on your iPhone or your Android phone, whatever you're using, I'm sure there's a voice memo app. Open that thing. And when you come up with that cool chord progression, or you're jamming that cool chord progression and you're singing, you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. You've recorded everything. I cannot say how many times I've been playing a chord progression that I like, and I've just been singing the first things that come to mind. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was like the best melody that I could have possibly written for that chord progression. And you spend the next half an hour trying to chase that thing that happened in one moment, and you never get it. You never get it back. It's gone for good, and it's sad. You know, you could have avoided that every single time just by recording it. And I kick myself often because I don't record it. And I would just say, if you can help it, record it, because it'll make your life easier. I don't always do it now, and trust me, every time I don't do it, I regret it. So do that. Record it. You can also record it on like your DAW of choice. If you have a microphone such as this or this, it doesn't matter how you do it, just record it. Trust me, you'll thank me later. In like years time, you're gonna comment on this video and be like, wow, Nick, you were right. I didn't do it that one time, and now I want to die. And tip number 6, do it like that, like that. Whatever, don't be afraid of writing a bad song. It's so simple, but just don't be afraid. You're gonna write bad songs. You're probably gonna write terrible songs. I write terrible songs. You should hear what I wrote last week. It sucked. It doesn't matter though. You just have to keep writing, because you will write good songs. Eventually you will write good songs. If you write 1,000 songs, maybe, 100 will be pretty good, 20 might be good, 10 might be great, and 1 might be amazing. I mean, that's a bad ratio. Obviously over time, that 1,000 songs will get progressively better and better as you become a better songwriter. It doesn't matter. Just push through it. Trust me, the first 20 songs you write might suck, but they'll get better. It's like anything. It's like making YouTube videos or playing games or playing sport. Just the more you do it, the better you get. So don't beat yourself up when inevitably some songs suck. It's simple, but keep it in mind. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope these were valuable. I hope you got something from it. Comment below which tip helped you the most. And yeah, check out these other videos. Like the video, subscribe, and have a good day. I'll catch you soon. Mwah.